Welcome to my CCNA training series. My name is Trevor. This video is going to explain the TCP IP model. So in the early 1980s, a second effort was started to standardize communications between network equipment vendors. This model is called the TCP IP model, and it started with a Department of Defense contract. Some resources refer to this model as the DoD model. Nowadays, the TCP IP model is the only one that everybody follows. The OSI model is not in use anymore, however that was not always the case. There was a time back in the 1990s where nobody knew which networking model would be preferred, so many people actually started utilizing both of these models in their networks. And by the end of the 1990s, TCP/IP took control of the market and the OSI became unused and unfollowed. Documents called RFCs, or requests for comments, are utilized by the TCP/IP model to define and explain network ideas or protocols. An example of the TCP/IP model in use in a normal life scenario would be the situation when you buy a new desktop computer. You're able to take that brand new computer, no matter who it's made by, you're able to take it right out of the box, plug in network cables, and you can immediately connect to your network. The reason why you're able to do that though is because the vendor followed the RFC protocol standards that are referenced by the TCP/IP model. Similar to the OSI model, the TCP/IP model is broken down into layers that classify different categories. This is called a layered architecture, and each layer defines protocols and standards. Here's an example of the TCP/IP model and its layers. The way I like to remember the different layers is by looking at the first letter of the different layers, and I remember the word NITA, N-I-T-A. And what that is it's from layer 1 going up. Look at the first letter in network access, that's N, and then I-T-A all the way up. I also want you to notice how the TCP/IP model aligns with the OSI model. There are many similarities between the TCP/IP model and the OSI, however I want to point out a few differences. The top 3 layers on the OSI model align directly with just the single top layer of the TCP/IP model, and this is called the application layer. Examples and protocols that exist at this layer are HTTP, SMTP, SSH, Telnet, DNS, protocols like that. There are no differences at the transport layer on the OSI versus the TCP/IP model. Notice the name of the network layer changes though in the TCP/IP model. This is now referred to as the internet layer. This is where IP, ICMP, ARP protocols are going to exist, and devices such as routers or firewalls, load balancers, layer 3 switches. The data link layer and the physical layer are now merged into one layer on the TCP/IP model, and this is called the network access layer. This is going to be your physical layer where your switches and your cabling are going to exist. I will be making more videos going more in depth into these different layers here at a later time. Thank you for watching this video. I hope the TCP/IP model makes a little bit more sense. Please leave any questions or comments you have in the comment section below.